Ciao da Avsim! Here we are again with the Avsim weekly report column with all the most important news and insights on recent days about Juventus. If you're bianconeri fans and don't speak or don't understand Italian well, this is the right place for you. So don't hesitate to subscribe to this channel, activate notifications and share this video with those who, like you, are interested in talking about Juventus in English. As already mentioned in the previous appointments, I'm not yet able to speak freely in English without peeking here on the screen in front of me, where I have the text of this video that I have personally written. I apologize for this, but I will try to look into the lens as much as possible. Let's start by talking about Allegri, who made his first official statements this season at a press conference dedicated to the American journalists ahead of the tour in the USA starting next week. Allegri spoke, as always, in his Livornese Italian. Don't be misled by the fact that there were English-speaking journalists. So, what did he say? First of all, he spoke openly about the goal of trying to win the Scudetto. Here, try to win, not just win. The coach, he is still hiding a bit. Like last season, so as not to take direct and fully responsibility for bringing Juventus to be Italian champion again. But in fact, with the purchases that have been offered to him, Allegri can hardly avoid the Scudetto. Indeed, I think he is obliged to win it. How do you think? I mean, with Pogba and Di Maria, in addition to the rest of the team, we reinforced ourselves in the way Allegri himself recasted and preferred. He had the reinforcements he asked for so far, with the ideal characteristics he recasted. In this coming season, therefore, it can't be used the alibi of the non-competitive team, blaming the players if Juve were to play badly and win nothing. Also because Allegri repeated many times a few months ago that he had laid a good foundation for the following season. He had time, yes, to work and affect his players, even if there have been many changes in the team. So it's no longer possible to absolve him of his responsibilities, as has been done in recent months, especially in Italy, for the last season. The hope of all of us Juventini is therefore to see a strong and winning Juve, with Allegri doing his best for this purpose. But we will have to deal with a weakening in defense, given the imminent departure of De Ligt, destination Bayern Munich. Things are not done yet, but it seems that very little is missing from the farewell of the Dutch defender, the Dutch centre-back. As for his replacement, the Italian press had focused for days on Koulibaly, considered Juventus' first main target, but now we know that the Senegalese defender has moved from Napoli to Chelsea. So what to do? The new names emerge, such as Bremer from Torino or Pau Torres from Villarreal. Between these two options, as I mentioned in my videos this week, my preference falls on the Spanish. They are both born in 1997, but while the Brazilian is more physical and interventionist, Pau Torres is more precise in setting, less impetuous, better at defending in an organized way and within the penalty area. In short, a more technical and clean player who will be ideal for a low-centered Juventus, like Allegri's one, low-centered, within the penalty area. Of course, even on Pau Torres, you have to work, Allegri has to work, as with all players, to make him perform at his best. But it will be a great purchase from my point of view. Though it's hard to get through, considering the high demands of the Spanish club, which kicked us out of the Champions League last March, but we can hope. Also because Bremer is probably destined to Inter, so it would be really worrying if Juventus were to go in search of another replacement for De Ligt when we are now exactly 1 month away from the start of the Serie A. Who would you prefer between Bremer and Pau Torres? And with Pau Torres, possibly, Juventus could also remedy the need for a playmaker midfielder, for a midfielder with the role of playmaking. Not that the defender is a regista, not that Pau Torres is a regista, but his cleanliness is in the setting will help very much the playing by Juventus. However, this problem remains. Who will be the playmaker of the next Juventus? Pogba is not a regista, so who will be able to play in the middle with construction tasks? Among the current bianconeri midfielders, I don't see anyone able to fill those tasks, except Artur, who intends to leave and the management agrees to give him up. For the rest, Zakaria and Rabiot are interdiction midfielders. McKennie is a raider. Pogba and Locatelli are offensive, technical midfielders. Only Fagioli remains. The young who grew up in Juventus and has been loaned to Cremonese last year, but he is in doubt between the renewal of the contract, still nothing done, and Allegri's judgment. The judgment by Allegri about Fagioli. Allegri who could reject him and send Fagioli back on loan for another season. Miretti, on the other hand, is an offensive midfielder, a trequartista, so he will not solve the problem. Not even a side with just 2 midfielders would help because there should still be a playmaker between the two. Moreover, there will be an overabundance problems among the available midfielders if Allegri plays with 2 midfielders in the middle in the starting 11. How to get out of it then? Probably the ideal solution would be to rely on Fagioli as a starter. But Allegri is known for not giving much space to young players. Alternatively, you should buy a midfielder like Paredes from PSG. But how can you afford him? In fact, the priorities are the center back and the left wing. The defender to replace De Ligt and the left wing, as we are currently uncovered on the left side. No players on the left side, no left wing in the team at the moment. And that's all for today. As you can see, Juventus is still under construction and we will still have a lot to tell us in the next appointments, so keep following me. Thank you for your attention, tell me yours in the comment space below, like this video if you appreciated it. See you very soon and sempre forza Juve!